Hey everybody, Matumbo here. Welcome back. We are playing some more Standard here in Magic Arena, and we are playing a fun little aggro deck where we are going to utilize Blue and White Fliers. We are calling it To the Skies. But before we hop into today's deck, I would love to remind everybody to please hit that like button if you enjoy the video. Please leave any comments below. Please subscribe to the channel as we are continuing to grow at an incredible rate. Would love for you guys to be a part of this, getting in early, and also hit that bell icon to be notified when these videos become live. So with that being said, let's get right into this To the Skies video. Now this deck is going to focus on playing really small blue and white flying creatures, and we're just going to try to get in as much damage as early as possible, and then we're going to finish them off with a growth spell that will grow our team and kind of just burst them down. We should be able to win. I think the fastest we can win is turn 4. But again, this deck just has so much card draw. It has life gain. It has just a go wide strategy. There's just a lot of different ways you could win here. So let's see what we have. So in the form of 1-drops, we have Faerie Guidemother. This card is really cool. It's a 1/1 flyer for 1. But it does have an adventure side where, if only this were an instant adventure, but this sorcery, it's for 2 mana, and we give a creature +2/+1 and flying until end of turn. So any of our ground creatures, which we only have 1 of, which would be the Sea-Dasher Octopus, we could potentially give something flying, or and also it gets +2/+1. And then once we buff a creature, we can actually just play it as a 1/1 flyer. So that's really good. Healer's Hawk, this is pretty much your staple white 1-drop nowadays. You know, back in the day, it used to be like something like Savannah Lion or Tundra Wolves. But now we have Healer's Hawk. It's a 1/1 flyer with lifelink for 1 mana. Really cool. We have Faerie Miscreant. This is kind of cool. This is a 1 mana 1/1 flying. When it comes into play, if you have another Faerie Miscreant in play, you get to draw a card, so it replaces itself. It can just help cycle through your deck if you're drawing multiples of these. Spectral Sailor obviously is like the staple blue aggro 1-drop with it's got flash. It's a 1/1. It lets you draw a card if you kind of get stalled out and you're sitting on 4 mana with nothing to do. So it's a really good card. Well, one of the best cards for this deck added in the new set, Ikoria, is the Skycat Sovereign. So it's 2 mana, 1/1, but it's going to get 1/1 for each other flyer you control. This thing can get out of hand really quickly, and on top of that, for 4 mana, you can create 1/1 cat bird tokens with flying. So for 4 mana every turn, you can just continuously grow him. He's just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. We also have Brazen Borrower, obviously half of it's bounce, half of it's a 3/1 flyer with flash. Really good. Mentioned earlier, we have Sea-Dasher Octopus. This is a really good flash mutate spell. We can mutate pretty much onto all of our creatures and give us the ability to draw a card whenever that creature deals damage. So we're going to really utilize this as the mutate half as opposed to the non-mutate half, because the non-mutate half does not have flying. So we would like to just maybe turn 1 Healer's Hawk into turn 2 mutate this onto the Healer's Hawk, and now we have a 2/2 flyer with lifelink and draw a card when it deals damage. So that's really cool. Empyrean Eagle, this is basically the staple lord, as we say, of this deck. It's going to give all of our creatures +1/+1, and it's just going to grow our team just basically out of range, and it's just going to be able to just put us over the top, kill our opponents a lot quicker. And Sephara Skyblade. This is the last creature in the deck. This again is a huge, 7 mana, 7/7 flying lifelinker. But we can tap 4 untapped flyers that we have and just pay 1 white to put this into play. And it's going to give, if we do that, it gives all of our creatures indestructible. So it's this is a really cool card. It's a really cool, top end finisher, so to say. So really hoping to be able to utilize this and protect our creatures from wrath effects, just damage effects. So it'd be really cool. So other than that, we only have 2 other cards to cover. We have Staggering Insight. This is kind of like the Octopus. This is going to give a creature whenever it deals damage, it gets to draw a card. However, it also gives lifelink and +1/+1. So this is really cool. We can turn 1 Spectral Sailor, turn 2 Staggering Insight. Now we have a 2/2 lifelinker, draw a card. So we essentially have a Healer's Hawk with an octopus on it. So again, really cool card. This is exactly what this deck is wanting to do, again, is being able to replace cards and just get ahead of our opponent. And the big finisher here, Rally of Wings. This card is amazing good. It's going to, for 2 mana, untap all of our creatures and give them all +2/+2. So we have 3 or 4 creatures in play. We swing in, we pay 2 mana, they all untap. They're still attacking, by the way, but now they're all +2/+2 bigger. So for 2 mana, we've potentially added 6 or 8 or even 10 damage onto the board, and that's usually just going to kill our opponent because we've chipped them away a little bit before that. So this is really the backbone of the deck. This is really just going to put us over the top in most of our games, I'm assuming, because this card is ridiculous. This is how we usually lose whenever we play against this deck. So we've seen this deck. We see it every once in a while on the ladder, and I feel like we have a really low win percentage against it just because Rally of Wings usually is the card that gets us in the end. So we wanted to give this deck a shot. So I do want to remind everybody to always watch until the end. We will do a wrap up at the end where we talk about what we loved about the deck and what we didn't like, and potentially what changes that we would make. All right, so with that being said, let's get right into the gameplay, and we will see you guys pretty soon. All right, so this should be fun. We typically run into this Blue White Fliers deck every once in a while. It is very fast aggro. It can just get you in one turn. Rally Wings is pretty powerful when they just have like 2 or 3 flyers in play. So we're going first. We are going to keep this. All right, what are we playing against? If only this was the enchantment. Okay, well. Like I said, this looks to be a pretty decent start. Red white. Probably gonna scry. It's too early for him to game 3. Bottom is always good. Wow, Rally of Wings here. So if we draw land, we could potentially just kill him next turn. 7, 15. So we can actually hit him for 15. This is a lot of damage on turn 4. So we're not going to play this just in case he runs into a Wrath or something. Okay. Winota deck. Good game. Ooh, that is some quickness. So yeah, like I said, this deck is fast. We just outraced Winota. Being able to do anything. Put him at 1 on his turn 4. So, pretty ridiculous. Remember, hydrate. That is my gift to you, is to remember to hydrate. Pablo. Alright, so go first. Faerie Miscreant is fine with the Staggering Insight. I kind of wish there were shortcuts in this game. Like on turn 1, just being able to drag out like Faerie Miscreant and it also dropping my island and tapping it for me. But that's just wishful thinking. And we get to figure out what we're playing against. Maybe green? Oh no, it's mono red. So seeing the shock there is pretty good. Oh, good blue, huh? It's a cycling deck. Love to draw an island here. I mean, that technically counts as an island. So the question. Yeah, I guess we just give that out. This is flyers. We can bounce this once it gets a little higher up. Yeah, we're gonna end. Sure. I'm surprised he did that. I guess he knows that we're playing a rally deck. Sure. So I think we just have to push through as much damage as possible. So, that's pretty good as a sorcery. You are a sorcery, huh? Unsummon is fine. So I don't want him to know that we have another octopus in our hand. So it's a 3/3. Maybe we do want to draw another card. We want to go over. This is ending up to be a pretty tough matchup. You play like Ionizes or anything like that? And you have another one. Oh, good for you. All right, well, he's about to have some 8/8s. And what do we do about 8/8s? So this gives +2 and gains flying until end of turn. This would make it a 5. Then we could flash out for 6. So we're not really concerned about him having an 8/8. We can just block with these Sea-Dasher Octopuses. And we're at 22. We could take a couple hits off of it. It's pretty good. That's pretty good. I think we're actually just going to take the damage here. All right, so if we full out attack, he'll block the 2 6/6s and the Empyrean. We can I think we can put him at 1, assuming he doesn't have any bounce spells. He's not blocking the Empyrean. No, and he had... That makes a 5/5. We can make one a 6/6. It'll die anyway. This guy has a lot of bounce in his deck. We'll block. Alright, well, that last card's got to be a good one. Exactsies you? Wow, good game. Whew. That was a close game. Yeah, that last game. Wow. He had way too much bounce in his deck. Alright, so, I mean, we have to keep this. So he's playing some kind of blue or Simic aggro. Really, no attack. Brazen Borrower. This would be a good spot for Brazen Borrower. Or if you want to flash out another Spectral Sailor and do a blocky block. Okay. I definitely much prefer that. So that's pretty good. Really want another plains here. Stonecoil Serpent is good. Stonecoil Serpent. And we drew a plains. Okay. I think we're gonna go ahead and draw a few cards. Try and get ahead of the curve here. Yeah, we do take 6 on the crackback, but he's not drawing any cards though. Okay. Draw a couple more. So we definitely have to prioritize getting rid of a Brineborn Cutthroats. Question is, though, do we want to Brazen Borrower his Stonecoil Serpent? Typically, the answer is no. Okay, so we got him to do that on his turn. No blocks. This is a Faerie Guidemother, okay. So I'm really contemplating trading with this Stone Coil Serpent. Yeah, I think we're going to. Okay. And actually, I think we just take 5. That's a good draw. Let's see, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 12. I don't think he has any counter spells. I think we just go for it. He doesn't have any bounce. He doesn't have any instance that he can just flat out cast on his own. Yep. Good game. Green Lantern's Ring. Okay. We've had, I think it's a Luris deck. Maybe we're going to keep this. What do we put back? I mean, do we prioritize Rally of Wing over Empyrean Eagle? I think we do. Especially with this being 3 mana. I have to wonder if this is cycling or black-red. Okay. At least we're mitigating damage with this Healer's Hawk, even if it's just a tiny, tiny bit. Okay, Witch's Oven. All right, let's just play this now. No blocks. So, and the good thing is, I mean, we're definitely gaining a good amount of life here. He's going to be gaining a little bit of life as well, but and we do have to remember that he could potentially gain 2 life with the Serrated Scorpion. Okay, that's pretty good as well. Oh, and okay, we're racing like crazy. I mean, let's go ahead and get this out of the way. I don't know why he attacked with that. Was there any world where we kill him? Not this turn. So he draws a land, he can Luris and play his Scorpion back? So we can hit him for 16. Yeah, really love for you to get in there. So I think we win here. I don't think he can gain enough life. Yep. Good game. Wow. Awesome game. Yeah, that game was really fast, really. The turn 5, but I mean, we would have won faster if we wouldn't have had to worry about that extra damage. All right, so don't have any early plays. We're gonna mulligan. Okay, we definitely have some early plays here, so we're going to keep, and we are going to put back. Kind of feel like we put back a plains. What are we playing against? Let's just go ahead and down as much damage as possible. So I kind of wish we hadn't put the plains back. We would have put back the island instead, but... Okay, so we're playing a... I like that. Playing against another aggro type deck, Serrated Scorpion. Okay, it's when another creature enters the battlefield. That's fine. He's not gaining life, though, which is worth noting. No blocks. So, unfortunately... we're just going to keep playing flyers. I mean, he has to be able to gain life here in a substantial amount. Wow. Quick game. And we were stuck on 2 land. All right, everybody, it's time for the wrap up, and we went 5 up, 5 down real quick. So we won all 5 of our games. We had a really awesome first game, a couple of really good games right after that where we had to kind of, plan our attacks, and we got really close a couple times. But overall, this deck is really fun. So I recommend definitely playing this deck. It's almost budget friendly. It really isn't, just because we're playing 2 Brazen Borrowers, which are mythic, and then our land is not really budget friendly. But I really feel like in order to fix the budget aspect of this, what we could do is drop the Fabled Passages. So dropping 4 Fabled Passages would bring us down to 13 rares. However, the thing about Fabled Passage in this deck, it's not really where we want to be. So I was not really too impressed with the Fabled Passages. So Fabled Passage, our lands are going to come into play tapped unless we have 4 lands. But we're wanting to essentially make sure that we're hitting our land drops and getting out creatures on turns 1, 2, and 3. So I feel like if we hit a Fabled Passage on our first, second, or third land drop, we've stumbled and our deck is just immediately behind. So you really want to keep that into consideration when building this deck. I would just replace this potentially with 4 more land. This deck plays 22 land, and we can't afford to stumble on a Fabled Passage. So that's my recommendation, is maybe just adding 2 of each land. There's nothing else really that I would say. We'd never really played Sephara. It just never came around. So that's also another card that you could be up in the air. I have played this deck in the past before we had Ikoria, you know, sets and sets ago. And Sephara was really one of the best bombs in this deck because we used to play 4 of them and you would just try to slam it down and just be done. And your opponent really couldn't recover if there was a 7/7 protecting all of your other creatures. So it's really going to be, I feel like at this point, replacing the Fabled Passages. And you could replace Sephara for maybe like a Hushbringer or something along those lines. It is a 2-mana 1/2 flyer that prevents come into play effects. We're not playing any come into play effects except for Faerie Miscreant. So it's really not going to be that detrimental to this deck. So that's where I stand on this. Just swap out 4 Fabled Passages for 4 more basics, 2 plains, 2 islands, and we'll just be done with it. But with that being said, please let me know what you think in the comments below. Please like the video, please subscribe to the channel, please hit the bell icon. Again, remember, anything you do to interact with the channel helps get the channel a little bit more attention, you know, per the YouTube algorithms, and it really, really, really helps us out. So, and again, I want to keep making amazing content for you guys. I hope you guys are staying safe. It is Tuesday, and we will see you guys next time.